And we are live. Welcome to Radio Mythoverse for July 16th, 2019. You just heard the Adobe Kroger theme from Zalin Talus. Adobe is essentially the muscle of the Mythoverse 3, where Althea is more subtle, Adobe is direct. Where Maeve is more open, Adobe is guarded, and the nature of her powers reflect this. She is a young holy knight with a troubled past and an uncertain future. As a low-ranking member of a world-spanning ancient and secretive order, she's always trying to do the right thing, but is always unsure as to whether or not she has. The digital download of that track you just heard was made available in our recently funded Kickstarter campaign, so if you backed it at certain tiers, you will receive a copy of that song in your inbox along with the rest of the digital rewards. Now, Zalin's done a lot of work for a lot of different independent creators, including the Rags team, so he is quite the prolific composer. I'll put a link to his channel called Comic Book Music down below the video in the description. Good evening, folks. I'm Dan, one of the 3 lead creators and editor-in-chief of the Mythoverse. And with me tonight are our other 2 lead creators, Brett, our head of community outreach, and Matt, our head writer. Hey guys, glad to be on with you as always. What's up?
Hey.
Just some update news for Mythics.
Yeah, we will get to that. There's a lot to go over tonight.
Oh yeah.
And I've been looking forward to this episode. So as always, I like to start off the show with some good news. So what I'm going to be discussing in this segment is now that Adobe Kroger Dame Commander is growing nearer to completion, I believe I'm ready to start talking more about the first story she appeared in, which was the novel Adobe Kroger Knight Errant. So I announced at the launch of the campaign that the first 20 backers who backed at the top level would receive a free promo code for the audiobook. And so I'm going to be doing that this week. So if you were an early adopter at the highest level, which started out at the $30 level, but we added on a couple of higher tiers afterwards when we introduced the Maeve hoodie. So if you are any one of those, you will be receiving a promo code for the audiobook from Audible in your inbox soon. And if by chance you've already picked up a copy of the audiobook, then please just pass it on to someone who you think might enjoy it. The audiobook's just over 14 hours long. It's narrated by Addison Peacock, and she did an exemplary job bringing Adobe to life. So I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about that. So before we get into the exciting project updates, I would like to go over quickly some community announcements. And that means, Brett, please let us know who won the Me6 contest this week.
Okay, this week's Me6 winner, unfortunately, he's not on the server right now, but it is the individual known as Mr. Stranger. He was this week's winner.
Okay.
Like I said, unfortunately, he is not on the server at the moment, so he's not really here to receive it. Which, oh well.
That's too bad. Well, Mr. Stranger, you are the recipient of our 3rd Mythoverse No Prize for advancing the furthest beneath Matt, myself, and Brett in the eyes of the Me6 bot. So congratulations. Yay. All right.
We gotta figure out a way to take ourselves off the Me6's radar.
Yeah. I actually haven't had time to look into it, so not even for a moment. But, it's fine. We just ignore ourselves, and whoever's ranked highest below us wins.
Xenolith is in the chat. He says, I'm in. Wi-Fi's being a butt, so I may be dropping in and out.
Hey, Xenolith. Hey, Carl's Amateur Hours here, too.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. And I guess, and Brett said we're waiting for Gorgonite, Demon Eater, and Xenolith to cause a mess in the chat. So Xenolith is here, so that's 1 down. All right.
Gorgonite will probably...
down, 2 more to go.
Gorgonite can't be far behind. Demon Eater said if he's causing any chaos in the chat, it'll be because he fell asleep at his monitor and his cat started walking across the keyboard.
Well, that should be fun to see. So, always glad to have them. They always they tend to trip us up, but it makes things interesting.
Especially Gorgonite.
Yeah, Gorgonite especially. When we're trying to. What?
I'm just gonna say, you guys have not seen what Xeno is capable of. Like, all I gotta do is point to what has lovingly become known as Nurgle Maeve. So if you still got that if you still got that, post that on the fan art gallery.
I think I know which one you mean, and I will check it out. I will check it out and drop it in there. So yeah. So speaking of art, we've had a lot more activity in the Artist Alley channel. Very very happy to see it filling up with art. Mr. Stranger put in a couple of cool sketches there. Let me see. Yeah, more from Carl the Amateur. I really like what he's got going on there. It really does remind me a lot of like Max Fleischer stuff. They're very old timey, very cool. Dylan posted 3 really neat Netflix comics covers, which I think came out pretty well, and a very cool rendition of Stranger Things as an 80s anime. So very cool. If you have anything that you want to share, please drop it in Artist Alley. It's open for all. And we also recently added a writers channel. It is called Writer's Block. And if you have any writing that you care to share with us, go ahead and dump it in that channel. Mr. Stranger has got that ball rolling. So if your talents lay more on the literary side, you got a special spot to put whatever you happen to be working on, so everyone can offer some feedback.
Oh God, he is laughing in the chat. I don't like it. There's a story behind that, and there is a story to that piece. I'll have to go into that later.
Yeah. All right. So let's go over some project updates. While I have you guys in that mindset, I'll just go over Adobe Kroger's really quickly. Leandro is handling a minor edit that I requested for page 14, and he turned in the foreground inks for page 15. So that's going to be wrapped up within the next day or so. He's closing in on the downhill half of the book. He's got about 9 pages to go. So he's getting close to wrapping it up, and then at the rate Eric Weathers letters, it'll probably be lettered within 12 hours of the final page being done. He's just that guy.
If I remember correctly, you set the page count at 24, right?
Yeah, that's right. So he's about done with page 15, so he's got 9 pages to go.
So I guess if we're ballparking that, it's about 75% done.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So I'm perfectly confident that it will be finished with enough time to spare, so we can handle any edits and make sure all the lettering is up to scratch.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's good. All right, so it is your turn. We'll start with Brett. Anything new on the Changeling front?
Okay, so I got the first 3 inks for Changeling, and I talked with Victor. I mean, I got these on a file that I'm collecting. I'm gonna send them. I'm probably just gonna dump them all in Ginger's lab once they're done. Or maybe just send what I've got. Yeah. I think I'll just collect them all and then just send them all to Ginger. Sure, I think she'll know which ones she's already finished and which ones she hasn't. But talked with Victor earlier today, and he's trying to keep up a good pace. He said if he keeps at it, he should have it finished within a month. I did tell him not if he has to slow down to preserve the quality, that he should, because I'd rather this thing come out late with good art than make deadline but have the art look rushed.
Yeah, it's a fine balancing act. I stress that to Leandro as well. These are our launch titles, and it's not only our 3 launch titles, it's launch titles of our brand. So we really have to make sure they're top of the line. But we also can't be too late. We did make a promise to our backers that they will be available by the end of September, and I would like us to meet that deadline. Because that's very important to me and to Brett and to Matt, that we fulfill all the promises we make to our backers unless something drastic happens. So
yeah, he says he'll be able to maintain the quality, which I have complete faith in him. But it's just I just told him, if you have to slow down, slow down.
Yeah, quality first. So, Matt, tell us about Mythics. Mr. Matt.
Matt.
Sorry, for some reason I was muted, so
Why were you muted?
I don't know. Probably because the Yeti decided to do it on its own. But anyway, yesterday Beth, I requested the script, which she had an earlier version of the script in the Dropbox, and so because I was at work, she did 17 pages of sketches from an earlier draft. So it's basically somewhat back to square one, but she was able to get that all done in a few hours. So it's. I'm always amazed by how fast she is.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week that even if she gets a late start, I'm not concerned about Mythics being completed on time because not only is she a very proficient artist, she's also a very fast artist. She did both of those drawings of Schoolgirl, Althea, and Adobe within a single day, and that includes colors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, that's good. Sorry about that mix-up. That's unfortunate, but I'm really glad she got back on track.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much my fault for not not getting to it to her on time beforehand.
Well, to be fair, she's also had an excuse as well. She's been sick for the past month and a half or so.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about June, but everyone gets sick.
Well, most people just get hit with allergies in June, I think.
Yeah.
I
So
managed to avoid it somehow.
Hey, Alabaster.
Hey, Alabaster.
Alabaster, your mic sounds kind of quiet.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better. We can hear you more clearly now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm really glad to hear that she's back on track, Matt. I cannot wait to see the layouts for the next pages because her art is so kinetic and is so expressive, and I can tell she's a very strong gesture artist. Like, she understands the essence of movement very well.
Yeah, which is why I give her a lot of room to work with gestures. What she thinks will be better for the story and the character.
Yep. You can see that even when she has the character standing still, like in that group shot that's looping through the slideshow, she manages to capture like a degree of individuality and character in something as simple as the way the characters stand.
Yeah, there's like personality in each of them.
Yep. Blind Artist just joined us. How's it going? And Xenolith says, I'll be sure to mix in some lewds with the, quote, official, end quote, pages.
Oh, God. Let's just hope it... I'm not... Okay, no, I'm not going to finish that because it'll give him ideas, but then again, to hear him tell it, not even he knows what his hands are going to do.
Is this what's known as automatic drawing?
Well, let's just hope that it's not too bad.
All I'll say is, if you saw his She-Ra, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you need not say more. I have a good imagination, and we'll leave it at that. So, yeah, so our books are, despite a little bit of a drawback on the Mythics end, it appears that that has been reconciled, and our books are well on our way to meeting the deadline. But again, we are stressing quality, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be late. We still have plenty of time to deliver top quality books without putting too much pressure on our artists. So that was why we set the deadline where we did, so that the artists would not have to rush. They would be able to deliver their best work, and that's what we want from them.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, let's move over to our supplementary content. I'm going to swap the view right now and bring up the latest Mythochibis comic, drawn by Antonella, as always. And before I even begin talking about this particular one and the strip in general, Antonella was not, in fact, the first artist that we approached to produce this feature, correct?
Correct.
Who was the first artist that we approached with this concept?
It was Akagi, and there was just one of the problems was that she moved she moved to a different country, so it just messed with the PayPal and all that stuff. Bank's not compatible with it.
I think there was also a degree of communication problems with her too.
Yeah.
Well, that was a shame, but we did, as a result, end up with Antonella, and she has been churning these out like they are on an assembly line. She works with such speed and with such proficiency that I'm actually rather pleased it worked out the way it did. I would have loved to have worked with our initial artist, but this one ended up just fine, to say the very least. So this latest strip here, this is the second part in a two-parter. Now the gag, it's kind of inside baseball. Do you think it could be appreciated if we don't know exactly what it is in reference to? Like, would we be able to explain what we're talking about here without giving away something we don't want to necessarily give away?
Right.
Not really. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you know where the reference comes from, then good on you. Let me put it this way: it's sort of like it's there. Blackie Lawless has this one quote about the origin behind Wasp's name, where he said like, okay, if anyone doesn't know this, Wasp's name is an anagram, but they've never said what it stood for. And to hear Blackie tell it, he said the reason was they wanted a name that was controversial without being controversial at the same time. So he just said, if you know what it means, okay, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. It's just a bug. So if you know what that in joke is in reference to, great. If you don't, that's fine. You don't really need to.
All right.
All you need to know is that Althea vanquished the spirit of dead air.
And it's a very funny gag. The visuals are absolutely hilarious, and that's one of Antonella's greatest strengths, is that she takes a very simple script, which consists of nothing but the lines and a very vague description of the panel layouts, and she adds so much vitality and character to the action. Like, look, see how the spirit of dead air is being electrocuted. Just look at that expression. And then her little bleh expression as she's on her back smoking. It's adorable. I mean, Antonella has amazing instincts, and I am so glad that she's working on this project with us. Real quick, I'm just going to go back to the very first strip. And this whole project came about because of a random drawing that a fan drew of the three Mythoverse ladies, and Maeve was drawn as a baby. More or less,
she was just really
really small. Yeah. So we said, "Hey, that's a baby," and that kind of got our creative juices flowing.
Actually, what started it was that Matt said it looks like two lesbians raising their daughter.
And say no more. There was the premise for the Mythochibi strip. So we basically decided, like, okay, there's our premise, and we're going to completely and utterly exaggerate all of their characteristics to the point of absurdity, but within the context of the story, it will be played straight. So the characters don't realize how silly they are. They're just rolling with the absurdity of the world.
It's basically Teen Titans Go for the Mythoverse.
Exactly. So any of the characteristics that the characters have are dialed up to 11, and we just have fun laughing at that.
Yeah.
Although, it's odd to see Adobe be the one that's responsible.
I mean, to be fair, she is a programmer, and within that framework, she gets the job done. when it comes to dealing with people, she's completely inept. That's why
Yeah.
she
Yep.
pursued programming. She doesn't have to deal with
Yeah.
people. She can just stare at things all day.
Yeah.
So
I will say this, like I was at earlier today, Matt and I were playing GTA Online with each other, and then Antonella DMs me over Twitter to check out a drum pad machine app, and just a little bit of a back and forth. And I tell her, well, I'm playing GTA with Matt, and then I told her that we made our characters look like Althea and Maeve, and she was asking like how good of a driver they are, and I just somewhere along down the line, then I just started having an idea that I could just write a strip where you get a rare bonding moment between Adobe and Maeve, but what it is an ultra violent GTA knockoff, and of course Althea's gonna be in there and say, it's gonna walk in and say that is a bad influence on her. To which Adobe's gonna react with, it's just a game. And then you close in on Maeve as you can tell, she is absorbing all the violence from the video game.
it would be interesting to see a bonding moment between those two characters, because we established very early on that they don't get along at all. Like
It's a very adversarial relationship.
Adobe didn't want Althea to bring in the baby, but Althea wanted to play house, and Adobe ends up taking the brunt of the damage from the relationship. As we see here in this strip I have on the screen right now, whenever Maeve throws a temper tantrum that results in a banshee scream, it's usually point blank into Adobe's face.
Yep.
Or in the case of this strip, she tries to offer a nice little bouncy ball, and Maeve just adheres to her wrist with her sharp demonic teeth. So anyway, I love this comic, and we'll be having a new one out tomorrow. If you are on the Patreon, you've already seen it. So I'll talk about those in a moment. But before I go over there, I just wanted to go over the fact that I had put some updates onto the site itself. Number one, the archives was a calendar view that was non-intuitive to navigate. So I went ahead and replaced that with this very straightforward and still very ugly list. But it'll be very easy to find all the previous comics by name and date. Yeah. And I did the same thing.
It's at least a more streamlined approach.
Exactly. It's not as pretty, but, it's more user-friendly. There's your comic, there's the name, there's the date. Just click on it, boom, there you go. And I did the same thing for past Radio Mythoverse shows. You can get them all here on the site. And you can also see all of the music videos and the trailers for the Mythoverse properties. I also added a novels page, which will be used to display any of the prose novels that are released under the Mythoverse banner. For the moment, there's only one, Adobe Kroger Knight Errant, the aforementioned Adobe Kroger novel. And on that page, we have the audio sample here that's on YouTube. It's the first 2 chapters, narrated by Addison Peacock. And down here we have a link to the book itself on Amazon. There, it's available on Kindle and hardcover and softcover, and also a link to the audiobook here on Audible. Oh, look at that, it's already got 11 ratings. Sweet. It's not a bad start. Not a bad start at all.
Well, I definitely can attest that I'm one of those reads.
Yeah, sweet. And here are some reviews, and I think your review is in there too, Brett. So
yeah,
anyway, so go ahead.
Matt also was one of the early readers too. But...
Yep.
Yeah, actually, as soon as the audiobook was complete, before I even told anyone else about it, I shared it with you, Tank, and Matt, Brett, in our Slack channel, and you were essentially the first people to hear the audiobook that was not me or my family. So there you go.
Alabaster recently just got through the book, didn't you, man?
Yes, I did, and I really enjoyed it.
I was really glad to hear that, man. And I cannot wait to get you book 2. I'm about halfway through the first draft.
You know,
of that.
while we're on the subject, Alabaster, how about, without going into spoiler territory, how about you give us a brief review?
Pain. Pain. Triumph and pain.
Would you say, though, that due to all that pain, the triumph felt earned?
Oh, definitely.
Good, good. That was what I was going for, so I think that's probably the most succinct yet accurate review I've heard of the book to date.
Zeno's asking at some point, are we gonna have a coffee table book with the web comics? And I think we did broach that subject like on one of the Wicked streams.
Yep, as soon as we have enough material, we will do so. That is absolutely what we plan to do. And that actually allows me to segue over very briefly into the next subject, which is the audio cast. The audio cast is currently in production. We have one short story complete, and it is in the hands of voice actors who will be narrating it. And what we plan to do is when we have enough material, both in written form and in audio form, to release that as an ebook and as an audiobook. So that will be something that you'll be able to listen to as we build it up, but also all at once if you prefer later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working on my short story. I've kind of got the ball rolling. It's just more just got to get myself in the groove.
No worries. I set no specific date for the launch, so I want this first one to be really, really top shelf. So just do your best, make it interesting, and it'll be there when it's finished. So don't worry about it. Also, I want to talk very briefly about the Maeve Twitch stream. Are there any updates on that front, Brett?
Let me check. Let me go. I'm gonna have to dig up one of my old. I need to dig up one of my old chats with Kylie. Let's see. She's.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, I believe you let us.
I'm looking at it right now. Last one we had was about around the 7th. She's right now. She's still. I think she's still in the testing phase just to make sure her laptop doesn't really crap out on her or anything. So, I'm gonna check in with her after the show just to be sure. But as far as I know, nothing's really changed on her end.
Okay, that's fine. That's another thing that will launch as soon as it's available to launch. You know, there's no real hard deadline on it, but we just want to make sure everyone stays aware of it and is excited about it.
Now, one thing I did talk with her about, I think, like when we were originally putting this together, was that I thought it would be funny if we could get affiliate status for Maeve's Twitch channel, and I found out that to get affiliate status on Twitch, you have to stream 7 times in a month.
Okay. Well, that brings me right neatly into my next question for you, Brett. Now, she will be in character as Maeve. Now, will this be something that she will have to maintain throughout the entire stream? In other words, will you be writing talking points for her, or will she be mostly ad-libbing it?
I think I told her to improvise ad-lib. She follows Maeve's Twitter, and I give her early access to the script so that she has more material to work off, and just so she has a better time getting inside Maeve's head.
That's cool. That's the best way to do it. Just let her get familiar with the character, like you said, and then it'll flow naturally. Okay. In order to let everyone know exactly what they can expect from the Twitch stream, I have up here the Changeling trailer, and for those who haven't heard, I'm going to play it real quick so you can hear the performance. It's quite adorable, and I think you're going to love it. So.
My name is Maeve McKenzie. I'm 14 years old, I live in Aberdeen, Washington, and I'm a changeling. A fairy baby that was switched for a human baby, and now I'm something that's kind of both and neither. Which isn't great for me, because I've been a social outcast pretty much my whole life, and now I found out that I'm even more of a freak than I already thought I was. Well, thanks to another fae I met, a puka named Gavin, I'm now learning there's a whole other world out there. Maybe as I learn more about it, magic, and myself, I finally figure where it is I belong. Till then, while I'm juggling school, church, and life, I'm also dealing with supernatural happenings in my hometown. Ghosts, monsters, fae, name it, and I've seen it. So in my side of the Mythoverse, we've got expressive and energetic line art by Victor Campin, paired with beautiful and atmospheric colors by Ginger Foxy. Add in Brent McGowan's writing, which brings in heart, humor, character-driven events, and some amazing world building. My story's the kind made for a young adult audience. It's an urban fairy tale about discovering that just because you aren't human, it doesn't have to mean you're a monster.
So, is she Maeve or isn't she?
Pretty much.
Now, that when I first heard her narration, I was on the same page as Brett, where I honestly can't picture Maeve being voiced by anyone else at this point. So, I, for one, am really looking forward to her Twitch stream when it's finally available.
Yep. Yeah. I like what. I like that I've met Kylie and that she likes doing the character.
She does a very good job. And I wanted to show that off and the comic because these are additional pieces of content in addition to our books. The teams that are producing our books have already been paid. So in order to continue to produce this additional content, we set up a Mythoverse Patreon with the sole intention of providing a means to more easily pay these incredibly talented people like Kylie and Antonella so that we can have all this extra content for you. So as you can see, we already have 20 Patreons on this on our Patreon, and there's one tier. It's $1 per month, and if you elect to support us at the $1 a month level, which is the only one you can support us at, you have early access to all of the supplemental content. So as you can see, anyone that was supporting us on the Patreon already saw the latest Mytho Chibis. It's already up there. And the Subscribe Star is essentially the same site. All it is an alternative for those who choose not to do business with Patreon, understandably, for one reason or another. And there's only one tier on the Subscribe Star, which is $1, and it grants you early access to the content, just like on the Patreon. So that is that.
We'll probably see more. We'll probably see more of a cash flow once the books are out.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. As it is right now, we can comfortably support these creators. In addition, Kylie will receive all proceeds from her channel if you choose to tip her.
Yeah, on the Twitch. If you donate to Maeve's Twitch, it goes to Kylie. I'm not holding on to any of it.
Nope. She is going to get all of the benefits from role playing as Maeve on our Twitch stream. So,
yep.
Excellent. So that should wrap up all of our community updates and project updates. Everything's still good to go. I want to mention also that our first hoodie is nearly complete, just needs to have the ears sewn on them. So I will post a picture as soon as the wife is able to do that. And as we agreed last week, I will not be mailing them out until they are all complete, just to be fair to everyone. So everyone more or less should receive them around the same time. So if you backed at a certain level that includes the hoodie, you will receive the hoodie separately from me and all of the print materials from Wicked Publishing.
Yeah. All right, so with that out of the way, what's next on the agenda?
What's next on the agenda? Well, tonight we're going to try something a little bit different in the gaming section of the show. What we did was each of us picked up PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, for those who don't know, and we designed characters to resemble the Mythoverse leading ladies, Adobe, Maeve, and Althea. So we're going to, later tonight, in the gaming portion of the show, we will be logging on to get shot full of holes over and over again before we even know what hit us as our main characters. Now, here's the interesting thing. I never got that great at these competitive online shooters. I was always pretty much cannon fodder. But PUBG took it to the next level. When I first started to play, this was early in the game's life, before they even instituted the kill cam. So very, very often, like 9 times out of 10, the game would just suddenly end, and I had no idea how. Like, I would be walking along, then I'd be dead. And I didn't even necessarily hear the shot. It's just, better luck next time, better luck next time, better luck next time. So that got pretty frustrating. Because you do die very, very quickly. Typically, firefights are resolved by whoever surprises the other, and whoever gets the first shot off typically will win.
That's how it works in real life.
Yeah, exactly. But
really, statistically, I know, like in most tank battles, I was reading that the people who won were usually the ones who saw the others.
Yeah, the better optics carried the day, especially if you had the higher muzzle velocity and higher caliber rounds.
Isn't that pretty much how it goes in Rainbow Six Siege too?
Yep.
Yeah, you see, I'm more accustomed to like the old school shooters. We had a health bar that would noticeably decline, and you would have an opportunity to take cover or fight back. But in these far more realistic shooters, like quite literally, someone shoots you in the back twice, and you're gone.
First Rainbow Six came around that time, Dan. It was, and they've always been one shot, one kill.
Well, Rainbow Six wasn't always like that. Actually, it's not really one shot, one kill. It's like that if it's more realistic settings.
Yeah. Well, it was Rainbow Six was like, it got as far as you could to being a simulator without actually being a simulator.
Yep.
And that's fine. I don't mind that. What bothered me was there was no kill cam initially. So the game would just end, fade to black, and then I'd be kicked back out to the lobby. And I'd have no opportunity to implement the kill cam, and I still suck at it. So it did not actually help me improve. So that was apparently all BS. It was just an excuse I was giving myself for why I kept dying so early.
About the closest I can think of to something like the kill cam would be like back when my brother was playing like Halo on Xbox Live. Like, if you got killed, about the most you would get is you would see who killed you.
Yeah. And the kill cam in PUBG gives you like, about 15-20 seconds from the point of view of the person who killed you, so you can see how they outmaneuvered you, how they outflanked you, and
But yeah,
potentially glean some tactics from them.
Though, is that because the last thing you would see is the person who killed you. That's what gave way to the now infamous teabagging.
Oh. Yeah, well, that also happened a lot in like more vanilla games. I
want to believe that was a thing back in old school shooters, but I know that Halo popularized it.
Well, back in, for example, World of Warcraft PvP, they would inevitably like /spit on you when they killed you, and if you didn't release your spirit fast enough, then you would be party to all of their depredations of your corpse. So I guess the trick is just to release your spirit as fast as possible before they can get in that spit.
Just die, basically.
Pretty much.
That was the other thing. Like, there's no respawn. You're just out of the game in PUBG. So that was another thing I wasn't accustomed to. It's like, oh wait, I don't respawn? That's it? I just have to... Oh. Okay.
Can you imagine how long the game should be if there was respawn?
Yeah, it wouldn't fit the style of the game at all because there is a hard time limit on it that you literally cannot play past. I think what's really cool though about PUBG is there's a lot of opportunity for some exciting emergent gameplay that most other games I played don't allow for. Because it's so unpredictable, it's quite literally a different game every time you play it because you never know who you're playing with, where you're going to land, where the circle's going to shrink to. And there were some pretty fun, nail-biting moments that I actually made it to the top 3, where there were 3 of us, and I think it was the second to last circle shrink. And I knew roughly where the other 2 guys were, but I knew if I so much as budged out from behind my cover, they'd pick me off. So I just sort of waited for someone else to move, and they were all waiting for me to move, and no one did. And then finally someone crawled up right behind me and bumped into me and shot me right up between the legs. Ouch.
Ow.
So I will not be having any children in that incarnation.
No. Go on, Brett.
Say what?
What are you gonna say, Brett?
No, I had nothing else beyond that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, there's not much else to add to that. But that was the reason that I wanted to play PUBG, is for those moments that are just, you can't plan, and they just sort of happen, and they're hilarious. One of the things I always loved in my old MMO days was when things went completely south, and the raid got completely wiped, and everyone's running around laughing, trying to escape. Ooh, hello, Matt. Well, I'm not sure what that was, but I muted Brett. So let me see if he's resolved the situation. Nope. All right, Brett, I muted you until you fix that. So let me know if there's anything I could do to help you out. Anyway, so my son has offered to lend us a hand tonight in PUBG play. He's actually won several games, so he has quite a pedigree if you place him next to me, where my top score was number 3. I never came close to actually winning. So let me see if Brett's okay now. Brett, you dead man. Hey, it's Brisnatron. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. It's a wonderful day.
Well, yes, it is. Tuesday nights are my favorite. Brett's just working on some technical difficulties right now.
Okay.
Mr. Brett, you're not muted, and I don't hear whatever that was.
What are you talking about?
There's an enormous amount of feedback, like white noise, very, very loud, coming from your mic.
Kind of
The best way to describe it is like you dropped your mic down the gurgler there.
But my mic is sitting right on my desk right now. I don't know what the fuck. Must have been my Wi-Fi.
Like a hurricane.
Yeah, it really did sound like you had dropped it in like a raging river or something like that.
Fuck, it must have been my Wi-Fi must have acted up or something, because I didn't even notice anything.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get PUBG started up real quick.
Yeah, me too.
And I will.
Some PUBG.
Yeah, some PUBG. We're going to get annihilated in PUBG.
Well, while y'all do that, I'm gonna play an actually good game.
Hey. Let me see.
Some Stellaris.
All right, man. You enjoy.
Oh wait, actually no, I'm not. I have things I need to work on.
What things are those?
I need to finish up the last bits of editing for my pitch, and then email with.
Nice. Look forward to that.
Biggest y'all.
I won't go into detail, but Riz has been dropping a lot of details to me, and his book sounds absolutely epic.
If I can pull it off. If
Take your time and do it right, man. That's all I have.
well, of course, and also pros. Because why not? Poses are cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the JoJo and everything.
Do I need to resend the image of my collection?
No, you don't.
Good.
I don't even want to know.
Of JoJo Valors.
Oh,
All right.
God.
So I'm going to let my son know that we're about ready, and I'll send him an invite.
Yeah, I'm. Okay,
You have a kid?
I have
I'm
3
starting to-
kids.
You have
1, 2, 3. 3 kids.
How old are you,
Oh, I thought
man?
you said 30.
30 kids. Well, that I know of. So who the hell knows? I'm an old man. I'm a very, very cripplingly, devastatingly old man.
I don't know. You've got 10 years. My dad has 10 years on you, Dan.
Yeah, I'm a Gen Xer. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Wow.
My Pathfinder GM has decided to not show up tonight, so yeah.
That's something worth exploring. Right, like, say we could, like, do a... Like, is there anyone can think of any good tabletop games that we could, like, make those characters into?
Fate, perhaps Mutants and Master.
Isn't Mutants
I
and
don't think World
Mastermind,
of
like...
Darkness would work.
Well, it would and it wouldn't. The problem with that is that, like, you got
Very
like
different.
with Adobe, you'd have to basically build her as a hunter character, Elfie as a mage, and Maeve as a changeling, obviously. And then the problem is they all play by different rules, and crossover games of World of Darkness are very difficult to run because of all the different rule sets.
Did I tell you about
Wait,
the
they
game
don't-
where I
they
managed
don't
to
follow
play
the
both
same
a mage
basic,
and a wraith at the same time?
Mechanic?
They do and they don't. Like the devil is the devil is in the details.
Yeah, like mages are overpowered as they should be. Don't
Yeah,
at
like-
me.
Nothing that a good knife in the back can't fix right there.
I mean, it can't.
PUBG has taken a while for me to fire up, Dan.
No worries. Looks like Sauron, the Dark Lord of Mordor, has entered and says, "Hello, mortals." How did your board meeting go with him, guys?
Oh, went good.
Anything you can share?
I don't know. What is? I guess all we can say is that Sauron's book is about as close as we can get to being Lovecraftian without actually being Lovecraftian.
Nice.
Excuse me. Extremely old Fae are basically just old.
To an extent, I'll agree.
I mean, mythologically, I mean.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm talking like without being explicitly Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
Although we did kind of broach the idea that in the Mythoverse, Lovecraft is basically the L. Ron Hubbard of it.
Oh my god.
So, in other words, he went from being a failed horror author to being the leader of a cult. Oh, there we go. PUBG's
Well,
working for me
Could say
now.
that
all I
happened
have
in
to
real
do
life.
is destroy this mortal plane, and then I, as king, can conquer all that exists, ever has existed, will exist, or could possibly. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so far we got Adobe and Maeve on the team, and Zanderson's character is my son.
I'm gonna turn down the sound on my end.
Nice.
And I am waiting on the loading screen.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the. There it is.
It's all right. We're all going to die horribly over and over again. So there's no rush.
Ooh.
I mean, we could all die horribly while making a good about it.
You know, I thought that when I turned down on the master volume that would. Oh, there we go. I had to hit the apply button, of course.
Okay, so when I'm done making this pitch, I'm gonna send it into the writer's room, and I would like some feedback.
No problem.
You got it.
Alright. Okay, back in my... Oh, Dylan would like to get in, but the TV's blasting in his living room right now. Oh, shit.
Big oof.
Okay, but yeah. Alright, I got everything more or less set to go.
Same.
All right, just to make it really super simple, I propose that we wait until the plane kicks us off, and then we just dive straight down.
Alright.
So, what's gonna? How are we gonna get into the team?
What's a good name?
Easy. If you're online, I can add you to the team.
God damn, that trench coat is just so perfect.
It is.
Oh, there we go.
All right, so there's, oh, nice. There's Althea, Adobe, Maeve, and the only competent player on the team, Zanderson. Okay.
Wake up, changeling. We have a realm to burn.
All right.
I'm about to say-
Okay, well, we're playing. That means neither me, Dan, or Matt are gonna be able to monitor the chat. So, Chad, you mind taking a look?
Chad?
Wait, sorry, what's up? I was distracted by, well, Red Zapaleo. A little bit busy.
All right. Well, while Dan, Matt, and I are playing, can you monitor the chat for us?
Yeah, sure thing.
Awesome,
Okay.
thanks. All right, Brad, I think you're the last one that needs to click ready, and then we will go.
I need to. Oh, right, of course. Hold up. Moments.
And then we die horribly.
But
Yes,
that's
okay,
the
ready.
fun of it.
Isn't that how everything ends, anyways?
Yes, that's what makes this game such a blast.
Oh, might as well just go with the achievement hunter way. Wait. Die while making people laugh.
There
Well,
we
you
go.
see, I was inspired last week by that complete cock-up of the first mission in XCOM 2, where Leonore killed Maeve because she
Lenore killed Maeve.
she somehow triggered Overwatch on Maeve's panic. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh man, I should totes do that too. I should make one of those rockets.
And I made a template out of it so that we never forget that Lenore killed Maeve.
And I think I posted the first meme with that.
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
Time to boot up the PS4 and play some XCOM 2.
All right, so my brilliant plan so that we don't get split up, just wait till the plane kicks you off,
Starts out with literally nothing.
and then we'll just drop straight down. Unless we drop straight down to water, in which case, go to land.
Should we run around and look for? I don't know. Look.
Now, you can't arm yourself here. This is the pre-match.
Yeah, this is the lobby.
Yeah, we're just
So
waiting.
what's the objective?
The objective is to not die.
Be the last man standing. That's the objective.
We're the last squad standing in this case.
So, an issue I'm noticing right now is going in and out. So,
All right, so we're on the plane now. So, just to keep this simple, just don't do anything. Just let the plane kick you out, which it will when it reaches the end of its flight path. And then we just dive down.
And we got Vic King popping into the chat on YouTube saying hi, just pooped in to say hi. Hit like and help the analytic have a blast, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vic.
Thank you for.
Thanks for pooping in.
And I'm not gonna lie, I did read that word for word. Gotta love everything about the community here.
I love our community. And expect to be thoroughly roasted for my hideous performance in this game. All right.
Wait,
So I just got booted off.
Geronimo.
So just dive straight down. Press up. Wherever we land, we land. We'll try our best to group up.
Shoot the thrill, way to kill. Too many women, too many women.
Where are we dropping, boys?
You boys like Mexico?
I can't deploy my parry. Holy shit! I nearly died because
I
I couldn't
understood
deploy.
that reference.
I nearly died because I couldn't deploy my parachute.
It does it for you automatically.
Oh.
Huh.
That's fine. You don't need a parachute. The ground will stop your fall. It's fine.
It's true.
Well, that's. I think you mean you gotta. I think you
But
gotta.
who's
duck.
gonna save the ground from Adobe?
You have to tuck and roll.
That's fair. Okay, we don't have to rush, guys. We landed within the circle of life. So you can take your time, grab some gear.
They've learned to tuck and roll.
'Cause it's the circle of life.
Exactly.
I see Adobe and Sanderson. I'm gonna head over there.
There's
right
several
now.
backpacks where I am. And plenty of weapons.
And I see Matt. I'm gonna head over to Adobe.
Okay. There's helmets, backpacks, and rifles in here. Actually, no, I think that's a shotgun, not a rifle. Let me look again.
But as long as there's ammo.
Okay, go ahead and grab one of those backpacks, and there's a shotgun here.
And we have Xenolith Comics with a question. I thought you started PUBG in your underpants.
Well,
I don't know much about the game, so this one's off to you guys.
no problem. Adobe is dressed in a custom outfit that I picked up on the community marketplace.
I have not seen a backpack anywhere, or Dan.
It's okay. I just got killed anyway.
Well, I'm coming.
Found an energy drink. Oh, there's backpack.
Just so you know, there's someone directly within line of sight of my corpse that will probably be waiting for you.
Yeah, in which case I'm not going out then. And I got the gun. And the ammo.
It is done.
Okay, Brett just got... Yeah, there's a guy right outside the door.
Fuck. And I think what killed me was the lag. I didn't have time. I didn't even notice him.
Bam.
All right, I'm spectating Matt. I saw him on his belly on the street directly outside of the hut that we were in.
Alright, I'm gonna throw up the game.
Fucking lag is driving me nuts.
But
Well,
yeah,
I can
let's see what
definitely
it is right
say
now.
after having read Dan's book, this isn't the worst day Adobe has had.
Yeah.
Where can I read your book, by the way?
Sure. One
There's
second.
an audiobook.
Yeah,
Look on
while
those am-
while they're playing, because I'm dead, I'll go ahead and drop that in Discord for you.
Okay. But yeah.
I can't.
Might wind up changing
I can't do anything
the
but exit
pitch
the
before we
lobby.
send it, but
Fuck.
You guys complaining about the lag in here, I'm struggling to keep up on the stream.
I went ahead and dropped a link to the page in general chat in the Discord.
Oh no, it's just YouTube like crapping out on me.
thank friend. time to play some XCOM.
And we got Xenolith back again, so you can mod in your own outfits.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a stab in the dark here and say, because of the community marketplace, I'm assuming you can go and you can pick more of a custom designed outfit for your character to run around in, but it's only cosmetic changes instead of actually anything, well, unfortunately useful.
No, it's purely cosmetic. Like any actual defensive gear has to be found in game, like a helmet or a flak jacket. Matt is very wisely hiding behind a door with his gun trained on the entrance. This is typically how I made it to the top 10. I would just wait and hope no one found me.
I had to drop out because I couldn't select anything. Like, the only button I had selected was exit to lobby, and it wouldn't even let me do that.
Ah.
That's a big oof.
I think it's lag.
Yo, hold up.
Yeah,
Have you
no,
ever
to
played
be
Age of
fair,
Wonder?
Brett, I think you're having a bit of internet issues, because aside from sounding like you dropped your mic in a garbage disposal for about a hot 30 seconds there, for a while you sounded like you were talking through a piece of like heavy cloth, like a comforter or something. Like you were really muffled and muted.
God damn it. Okay, I gotta find out if Verizon provides internet in my area, because I am sick of Comcast shit.
Don't worry about running, Matt. You're dead center of the circle. You can literally just hang out here for a while.
Okay, so should I choose, which ally should I choose to start at? Skirmisher, Ranger, or Templar?
Are you... what are you talking about? I'm sorry?
XCOM 2. Skirmisher, Ranger, Templar.
Oh, well, it depends on what style of play you prefer. I'm very straightforward, so I love the Rangers.
I personally enjoy the Templars just because they're cool.
In
But I plan on trying to make the Mythoverse peoples.
Yeah, I've always just loved charging right up to the alien and firing the shotgun directly into their face.
Well, I mean, you already have assaults for
The
that.
Doom strategy.
I mean, Rangers.
God, that was such a good game. You know, I need to stop by Ed headquarters and just say thank you to the receptionist. Maybe without even explaining why.
You know, it just occurred to me how appropriate this is. Matt is the final survivor, and he's playing an Althea avatar. Everyone else just sort of charged in and got blown to pieces, and Althea's like, oh no.
To be honest, if that had actually been Maeve, she would have been able to walk through a hail of gunfire and be completely fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
Adobe would just stand there and take it.
once I get my character arc done, that's it. It's done for him. I'm done with him, because there will be nothing else I will really be able to with them as a main character. Hence why I plan on moving on.
God damn, PUBG is so clunky to start up.
Anyway, time to start Gatecrasher.
While Matt's playing, how does GTA Online run for you guys on your machines?
We did not have too much trouble.
Okay.
We could not make the voice chat work for the life of us, though.
Oh, that's fine. We got Discord for that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole exercise we're doing here with PUBG is kind of like a trial run for our cooperative gameplay during streams.
Pretty much.
Biggie.
I was mainly interested to see how...
Play War Thunder, you let me know.
Hold on, Blue. Question.
Yep.
Have you beaten XCOM 2?
Yes. Most of the expansions too.
How'd you pull it
The a lot of save scumming, I'll be honest. I did not play Iron Man mode. The last mission was absolutely brutal. Every time I thought it ended, it just kept going.
Okay, I've heard that, but I've decided not to spoil myself.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. It's a marathon, so you have to pace yourself. That's all I'll
Okay.
say.
XCOM 1 endgame marathon or worse? Or are we
Worse.
talking
Worse. It's much worse.
Okay, so we're talking Terror from the Deep.
Yes.
God.
You probably will go through more than like 5 of your squaddies. Like you have access to like your whole roster. So if you lose someone, I think if memory serves, you can swap in another soldier, and you probably
it's like the base defense.
Right. And I think you will need to do that several times because eventually they just wear you down.
All right. To be honest, I haven't gotten too far in War of the Chosen, but it's been pretty fun so far.
Did you play the Enemy Within expansion?
Yes, I did, and I quite enjoyed it. I actually played it on my phone.
I love the Enemy Within. I love that extra added challenge of the saboteurs.
Was great. Meld and all that was great. But yeah, I played it all on my phone, so you can imagine how it ran. But it was... I was like, what, 15, 16 when I played it? But it was one of my favorite.
If we're talking about favorite games now, honestly, I have to say one of my favorites would have to be and this is gonna make me, just sound and feel old, but the Time Splitters series.
Heard of it, never played it.
Heard of it, never played it.
I
played a
saw
demo.
a thing about Time Splitters 2 in Nintendo Power Magazine, but I don't think I played either one of them, but it looked cool.
Time Splitters 2, the story mode was fantastic. Time Splitters 1, the story mode was okay. And then Time Splitters Future Perfect. Honestly, I have to say I've never played a better or more interesting campaign. And when it comes to multiplayer for those games, it is bloody, it is terrifying, and it is absolutely fantastic. I would love to sit down one day and eventually, get other people to play it. But I know that, older games don't age well, and a lot of times they don't translate well off of the console they were on.
Alright, I got PUBG back up and running.
Matt is still alive, mainly because he's taking cover.
Yes, I want to spectate.
Oh man. Ooh, blue.
It's about the only thing I can
In
right now.
An Enemy Within, did you ever give a heavy weapons guy the flight pack?
No, I don't think I did that. I basically focused on the snipers and made them unbelievable. Hey, Neostar Productions just joined us. Hey.
Hey, friend. I did that too, but I was playing it with my little brother as well, volunteering like the short time I had it on Xbox. And the character he played, because I decided to let him play one character.
Nice.
Just kept dying.
Well, in that case, I think we all know who's not surviving is the zombie apocalypse there.
Get in the golf cart. Go. That awning will protect you from most small arms fire.
I can't believe it. You and I got gunned down that quickly, and it's maybe an Adobe got gunned down just like that, and the last one standing is Althea.
Well, of course. She's the smart one. She stayed hidden until everyone else died and the bad guys left. I'm sorry. Just watching Matt try to drive.
Oh, that reminds me.
Over the cliff.
I
And-
decided to change one thing about my main character, or at least this one. I decided to change telekinesis to something else that does mostly the same thing, but has a higher cap.
Cool. And what was that?
I changed his telekinesis to gravitokinesis.
Does that mean he manipulates gravity?
Yeet.
Nice.
Of course, they think it's telekinesis. Eventually, it's gonna. You get where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm assuming that means he can manipulate an object's personal gravity field to make it appear that he's moving it around.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna start, and all. Eventually, they'll get stronger as they do.
You know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Neostar says Goraizer uses telekinesis. That is Neostar's book. So, looking forward to that one.
Telekinesis is a cool power because instead of hitting someone in the face with one baseball bat, you can hit him in the face with 6 at once.
From all directions.
Or if you really think about it, you can just use telekinesis to, well, and I apologize for being so bloody and gruesome, but you can just rip their still beating heart out of their chest.
You know, speaking of which, that's something that always pissed me off when I was younger about the Harry Potter books. Why the hell didn't Voldemort just stop Harry's heart or, like, make it explode? Or oh, there we go. Speaking of exploding, Matt just exploded. All right.
That's a 10 out of 10.
GG, no refriend.
All right. You know, as amusing as that was, I would like to last for longer than 2.5 minutes.
By the way,
Once I'm done with this mission, I'm gonna make the card. What were you saying?
nothing.
All right, you want to try once more? Is everyone up for another steamrolling?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Give me a sec. It is not reading my. It's not reading.
Yeah, I'm seeing that you're not connected right now.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a. This is definitely an internet problem. I have got to get away from Comcast.
Yep. Nikes, I just accidentally activated 3 pods of enemies at once.
Neostar asks, about the idea I mentioned, how would the Mytho Trio handle an evil genie? Well, they would probably die.
Evil genies.
I don't know.
If we're talking like an all-powerful genie that can warp reality, none of the girls are really equipped to handle that except possibly Althea.
The thing with, if I remember correctly, like a lot of the lore with a genie is like they'll grant you your wish, but they'll find a way to screw you.
Oh, that kind of genie. Okay. Yeah, in that case,
Okay, here's the thing about genies, though. That's because you've been a dick to them, usually, and you're forcing them to make your wishes happen. They still have personalities like people. They're not purely evil.
To be fair, though, there is the Genie game, which is one of my absolute favorite party games, where I think my friends have only found 2 safe wishes so far. Where you go, you make a wish, anything in the world, anything that you can think of, anything that you want, and someone else has to go and turn that wish against you. You wish for $1 million falls down out of the sky onto your head and kills.
I have to say the worst thing about $1 million would be all the scumbags who come out from the woodworks to beg you for money.
like all of a sudden everyone wants to be your friend, yes.
So are we waiting on Brett or?
Yeah, I think Brett's having internet issues right now.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
he is.
I need to ask a question.
And I need to answer it.
Do y'all remember the Yggdrasil idea I pitched?
The World Tree? Yggdrasil? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, what about it?
About how each of the realms is on a different planet. And they're all connected by said tree.
That's not ringing a bell.
Wasn't that largely what our concept was? Only substitute planets for planes. Hmm.
Guess so.
I think I remember us having that discussion, Brett and Matt. But it wasn't necessarily Idrisil, though, out of the Norse mythology. But
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it wasn't. It's just, I think like the tree I kind of proposed for like the Mythoverse. Like, it's not even like a literal tree or anything. It's like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be very abstract and esoteric.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning.
right.
Like, there are people who've like got like who've had like visions or something, and then like they say like, oh my god, I've seen what the universe is, and it's a giant tree. Oh, you gotta keep in mind these were people who had these visions were probably on some kind of drug, so you sort of have to take what they're saying with a grain of salt.
Real quick, Xenolith says, I'd recommend pouring quick dry cement in the spout of his lamp, referring to the genie. Okay, that's not a bad idea. Then Neostar says, I suppose to be fair, the character I'm referring to is an arcane demon posing as a wish-granting genie and using a human host as a conduit. Sorry to bury the lead. So it's an arcane demon, so he'd be able to do whatever he wished without the constraint of needing to respond to a wish. So he's not really bound by those rules. Is that correct, Neostar?
I guess so.
In that case,
See, there's one thing people never try with genies. And that's just sending adventurers after them. Solves all your problems, baby. Like, really, when has that not worked?
There are a few campaigns I've heard of where that has definitely not worked.
Okay, but legit, 9 out of 10 times, sending a party of adventurers solves all your problems.
Are we talking about the deck of many things now?
Oh, the deck of many things.
Oh boy, fuck
That reminds me of a post that I had seen where a group of goblins got their hands on the deck of many things.
Oh yeah, I've seen that video.
I don't think there's ever been a memorable campaign I've participated in that did not use the deck of many things. And
Oh, shit.
The deck of many things, though, that is just such a game-breaking item.
it really is. Of course, my DM loved to do things like that. Like, he actually let my barbarian get a hold of Mjolnir and wield it. And I had a lot of fun with that.
My entire squad just got all critted.
Of course, our DM loved to go for his TPK cert every single session.
Oh my god.
It was kind of weird. It was almost like we were fighting him instead of the monsters. Like, he wanted to wipe us out. It was actually kind of fun. Neostar says, that's about right. He's basically a demon wizard. In that case, Adobe's well equipped to deal with him. Paladins are very good at fighting casters.
Alright, I will be back. I have to go walk dogs.
All right.
And
did I mention I managed to? Well, no, this isn't my fault, but we split the party in our first session in our new campaign last.
that's a terrible idea. Rule 1: never split the party.
I think that's partly why we did it.
Neostar says, I'm playing with the idea of a final boss for a crossover game. That's why I asked how the trio would fare. Yep, there you go. I think if they all pooled their talents, they'd do pretty well. If there's one thing Adobe's very good at, it's absorbing hideous amounts of damage.
Which is basically the tank.
Yeah, she's basically the tank.
Adobe Meat Shield Kroger.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's good at.
You know, now that I think
Whether
about it,
she wants it or not.
now that I think about it, if you sort of get, like, has anyone here seen an anime called Konosuba?
No.
No.
Heard of it? Never got around to watching it. I have a lot of shows on my list.
Okay, so the idea behind Konosuba is you have it's basically PG cliches, and the main party is made up of this guy named Kazuma, a depowered water goddess named Aqua, a crimson mage named Megumin, who is only good at one spell, and that's
Which
explosion.
was basically fire.
Explosion, and then you got Darkness, who is a crusader, who is a masochist.
Oh my.
In other words,
Honestly, a really, really good show.
she is the tank, and she purposely puts herself in harm's way to get hurt.
Probably fuels her rage and
Yeah,
lets
it
her
does.
fight better.
It doesn't. It feels something.
So, Brett, real quick, are you still struggling to get on? If so, we could try something different.
Yeah, I'd probably do. Yeah, I would probably recommend that. Like, it just takes way.
All right, go ahead and disconnect.
Do y'all have like a Civ 5?
Yeah, I have Civ 5. I have like every Civ game.
Yep.
I
You know-
sadly don't have Civ 6, but if y'all want to play some Civ 5, I can do that.
You know, I'm actually curious because I know I got Civ 5, or I think I got Civ 5 a long time ago.
I'll just need to like boot up my computer. Once I've
All
done
I
it,
need-
Hey Brett, do you want to just disconnect and we'll try one more session with me, Matt, and my boy over there, because he's patiently waiting for us and he would rather be doing something else, I think.
Okay, give me a sec. I'm trying to. I thought if I just closed. I thought if I closed it, that would knock me out.
That's all right. Here.
It is. I'm not kidding when I say this shit is clunky.
Yeah,
At least on my end, it is.
that's fine.
I think something went wrong. I don't know. I think something went wrong in the installation process.
It's all right. I just booted you. All right. I was waiting for you to get on, but that's all right. All right, let's go.
That'll work.
Let's try this real quick.
So, I just realized how screwed my current phone is. Most of my screen is actually currently falling off.
Falling off.
Yeah, I was laying on my bed, sitting here listening to you guys riff, and I tilt my phone up above my head. I'm just like, that's weird. And I look at it from the side, and like half of my screen is literally just away from the phone, just kind of dangling.
I'm gonna try uninstalling PUBG and then reinstalling it.
All right. It was a good trial run. We'll do something different next time. If you continue to have issues, Brett.
Yeah.
Adobe's just living out a fantasy right now,
Which is.
beating the hell out of Althea. No, just kidding. All right. She typically loses verbal altercations, so she likes to fantasize about throwing her out a window occasionally. All right. I think we got someone joining our squad without my knowledge here. So we have a stranger in the group.
Yeah, it's a random person.
All right. Thanks for your patience, buddy, while we were getting that worked out. This will be our last match.
Okay.
Thank you. So let's do the same thing. Let's just wait till we get kicked off, then dive
Yeah.
down.
Here we
Holy shit! It even gave. I tried uninstalling it, and it gives me the fail to uninstall because app running.
Just force stop it and then try.
I am. Except every time I've gone to do the force stop, it doesn't show up in my task manager.
And I'm aiming for these 4 buildings right here. My goal is to not die within the first 2 minutes this time.
Okay, there we go. I don't know why, but apparently my computer just dropped me out of Discord for some reason or
That was
another.
weird.
Yep.
There we are.
I got a Tommy gun. I think it was one of the most inaccurate weapons in the game, if memory serves.
It's not supposed to be accurate.
Yeah, it's a trench sweeper.
I guess in here, sir. Y'all have some money and we're here to collect.
Exactly. Ooh, got a first aid kit. Lucky. Okay. Okay, I have Matt right next to me. Gonna try to get over by him. All right. Are there any spare backpacks in there that you came across, Matt? Never mind, it looks pretty picked over. I'll go to the next one. I got a Scar L. Nice. All right, let's see if we can get up, go over to where our the blue teammate is one we care about. The yellow one is the stranger.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, the stranger disconnected, it looks like.
All right. So he's to the south of us right now. I'm going to sprint over to where he is. I'm going to run right out in the open where everyone can see me and shoot me. There is Sanderson.
What the crap am I playing it?
There's a buggy down the road to the south.
A buggy?
But no one else too.
We'll probably need it since we're outside the circle by a fair distance.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. We're going to grab the vehicle because we have to travel a bit to get to safety.
I'm gonna run.
Oh.
I unfortunately still have not found a backpack, but hopefully I will shortly.
There's a backpack in here, actually.
Sweet.
It's a truck, too, we can use.
Thank you, sir. All right, I think we should make our way to that vehicle. We have about a minute to go before it starts to shrink. There's a level 2 helmet here if you haven't gotten one yet. Looks like everyone has one. That's good.
So Neostar in the chat says the crossover I'm playing with the idea of a final boss for a crossover game. That's why I asked how the trio would fare. The crossover I mentioned is based around a combination of martial artists, magic users, and heroines being gathered to face a powerful supernatural threat.
I like it.
Yeah. Ugh. Also uninstall, even with the PUBG completely killed, I still cannot uninstall it.
That makes no sense. Alright, 5 seconds to go. I'll go ahead and drive. I will not randomly eject this time, I promise. Alright. Oops. Gotta get in the actual driver's seat, don't I? Hop in, Matt. Alright, so we gotta go that way.
Come on, just uninstall already.
If you really need to, try going into the what is it? The system file uninstaller, if you know what that is.
I do know what you're talking about.
Honestly,
Holy shit, it actually looks like it actually uninstalled this time. Because the icon, the startup icon's going.
well, hey, it's a Christmas miracle.
Yes, after a fashion. Yeah, I think something went wrong. I think something went wrong during the first installation process, so I'll just try it again overnight.
Don't stress over it. If it gives your machine issues, we can always play GTA on launch, which ran better, he said.
Yeah. Xeno has Sonic, Pikachu, and the maybe we want to hug Pikachu.
Sorry about that. I got some network lag and it spun me around.
I do not know about Sonic, and all I know is, if I had to guess, Maeve would be like, "What's a patriarchy?"
Yeah, I get the feeling Maeve's parents probably wouldn't be talking much about patriarchy.
Well, considering her mom is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, they're pretty traditional, Maeve's parents.
Yeah. Oh look, there's Demon Eater.
Yay, Demon Eater. And he's singing Kama Chameleon.
Kama
Chameleon. Comes and goes. Alright, we're in the circle. So why don't we stay in the middle of the city where we'll be perfectly safe right here on the road.
The only thing missing is Gorgonite, and then it's a party. He failed.
Alright, let's see where the circle's going to end up next before we decide to ditch the vehicle. Does anyone have any scopes yet? I know it's a long shot.
Yeah, I have some.
Okay. Do you want to try to get to high ground where we can keep an eye on the area before the circle shrinks?
Yeah.
It's as good a plan as any. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
I have the high.
I have the high ground. It's over. I'm getting network lag. It's spinning me around again. Sorry, guys. All right.
Spin me right round, baby, right round.
I think there's a guy up there. There's a motorcycle parked right there.
Demon Eater says, "Whoa, whoa, Angel."
You want me to just ram this thing? Bam. There's really zero cover here.
Okay, is that in reference to another Boy Georgia Culture Club song? I feel like it is.
Whoa, whoa, angel. That's the only thing I recognized from that. It was the English version of the Fatal Fury anime song. Alright.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I actually liked that song. It was a very tragic game, a very tragic show based on a game. All right.
Actually, I think that's from the first movie.
Yeah, the movie. That's what I mean to say. I'm gonna get out here. It's as good a place as any, I guess.
You know what? I should not be so. Demon Eater says careless whisper.
I like mine better.
George Michael.
I'm just gonna put my back to this rock.
Also very tired, so I will be weird. Yep. It down. It down.
Huh?
Strain down. Strain down.
Uh-oh. Hang on.
I'll be honest, I kind of gave up on it because YouTube just wasn't wanting to cooperate.
Okay, there we go.
back
We got
up.
it back.
Yep. Neostar says, Fatal Fury 2 is my first fighting game. I love Fatal Fury. Terry Bogard was the man.
Holy shit. That was close.
Yeah.
We almost lost it.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, look. We're right outside the bomb zone. Not sure what I'm doing. I don't have a scope or anything. I'm pretending I'm a sniper.
There's guys here to the east.
Oh, I see him. Oh, he saw me first. He got me. He got me with a headshot. I'm trying to get to cover now.
No, Demon Eater's quoting Eric Bischoff's theme
Careful, Matt.
song.
He's got a beat on you. Just get to cover. Okay, now we're out of sight. He's right behind that
Bishop.
rock. He just threw a grenade. Okay.
Female.
Here he comes. Oh, knocked me out with a frag grenade.
Zeno says, for a second, I thought you were talking about a female Furies anime. Actually sounds pretty boss. Also,
It depends
Demon
who's
Eater-
writing it.
Demon Eater, just so you know, Bischoff killed WCW.
Zane, are you knocked down?
Yeah, we all are.
Okay, Sanderson is knocked down. Finally killed me.
I can see Adobe trying to struggle back to life, and she's about to go down completely.
She's dead. All right. Yeah, I'm having some network issues on my side with this game, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit here. All right, thanks Zanderson for joining us. I really appreciate you coming in and playing with us. Sorry about the network issues. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead
See
and
you
end this
guys
for the moment.
later.
See you later. Thanks.
Demeter says, do not quote the ancient laws to me, which I was there when they were written. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad Vamp brought him.
All right. So we still have about 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is going to boot up XCOM 2 because why not?
Okay.
May as well.
Yeah. All right, that was a good experiment. I think in future we'll try Grand Theft Online because you guys said it ran smoothly for you guys. We'll try that
Yeah, we can.
next
Yeah,
time.
Matt and I did not run into really any problems playing GTA Online with each other.
Okay, great. We'll do that one for the next stream.
Save for the voice chat feature in GTA, but we can work around that easy.
Yep.
It's actually kind of cool because it'll sync your voice to the character.
Oh, their mouths move.
I never saw that happen. I never saw that happen.
Well, that's because your computer's broken.
Demeter says, "Pray for me. I have begun playing Final Fantasy 14."
Oof.
Oh
That's
boy.
gonna be a trip.
God, I've always
Trust me, I understand my computer can't handle most modern games, so I'm stuck playing from like mid 2000s to the mid 2010s. Like I am stuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Are we still streaming at the moment?
We are still streaming for at least another 20 minutes. I'm going to have a quick XCOM 2 session.
Oh, now I feel stupid. I
What-
thought Demon Eater was quoting the Chronicles of Narnia. He was quoting Ultraman.
Well, that's very close to what Aslan says to the White Witch. To the Ice Queen, whatever you want to call her.
The White Witch.
All right. All right.
Oh man.
All right, so here's the character that I put together in XCOM 2 for Maeve. I gave her the side of the head shaved haircut in reference to one of the fan art entries we received for the Growing Up Maeve contest. So I'm just going to start a new game.
Yeah, sorry for disappearing for, a little bit there. I don't know why, but my computer just seems to be crapping itself today.
It's
everything
alright.
going.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so we got
guys.
Althea, Smoot, Adobe, and I don't know who else.
Okay, guys, I just went digging up. I wanted to look up who Bandora was. Guys, take a guess. Because you know her, you just don't know her by the name Bandora. Demon Eater, do not quote it.
I don't know. I give up.
Demon Eater, quote it. Gotta play devil's advocate here, man.
It's Rita Repulsa.
Nice.
Oh my god.
In other words, he went. Oh, dude, he just went peak weeb. If he's watching the original Sentai show that Power Rangers is based off of.
Oh man, I watched the first episode of Zyuranger, which is the one that first season of Power Rangers was based off of, and it looks like it was something made by what was it? That Christian Science Museum where it's like, back in the day, man and dinosaurs lived together, and I'm like, okay, this is all right. There's a premise.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Dylan.
Hey.
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 Yeah, it's just that I think it's just that Demon Eater just probably took the crown for peak weeb on this server because he has watched the original Sentai that was made into Power Rangers.
I admit I have never done that myself.
Well, you should. Season 1 of Super Sentai had a cowboy.
I know, I really ought to do it.
So is this what you guys been talking about, Super Sentai?
Well,
And
just
Kamen Rider.
just in the last couple of minutes.
If you're gonna watch Sentai, you have to watch Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay.
Actually, here's something. Actually, if you want to see something really that is some Sentai that is really stupid cheesy. Okay, so Toho back in the day used to have a Sentai series called Zone Fighter. I shit you not, there were 2 episodes where he went up against Godzilla Kaiju.
Is that the one where he broke off that one monster's tail and started beating the shit out of him with his own tail?
I don't know, but there was one of the episodes he went up against King Ghidorah, and the other he teamed up with Godzilla to fight Gigan.
Damn.
This sounds like the greatest thing ever made.
The 70s were a different time. A much better time.
They just seem to have a lot more fun.
Demon Eater says, I have seen a lot of Sentai. Yeah, I bet you have. I'm pretty sure there goes without saying he's seen Ultraman.
Oh, I saw
Look
the
up
original Ultraman. Yeah, definitely saw that.
Look up Power Maker's Force. No, that is not a typo. Zeno says I'd watch a Rita Repulsa hentai.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure that exists.
Of course it does.
Rule 34.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
Okay, Power Makers.
I am more than sure.
Power Makers Force. I have to look at this. Power Makers Force. It's like, oh my god, is that Englishy?
English. Okay, I just posted 2 drawings in the artist gallery, one from 2017 and then one from 2019.
Huh. It's amazing how much you've improved in 2 years.
Thank you. Yeah, that was before I learned how to do proportions.
I mean, I've seen a lot of TV. No, I mean, I've seen a lot of TV. Neostar says Zone Fighter inspired one of my hero characters. Demeter says, for example, have you ever seen the Aquabats TV show? What the fuck is Aquabats?
No, but I saw their album.
I know what that is, and I only know it because I had to look up the origin of a meme.
Yeah, if you want to talk about weebs, I've seen like the entirety of Ramna 1/2.
Wait a minute. Travis Barker was in this?
Oh my.
Blink-182, Travis Barker was in the Aquabats?
Well, I mean, it's made by musicians, isn't it?
Yeah, look up their song Chemical Bomb. It's utterly hilarious.
Oh, so it was one of those bands. The whole thing was a joke, wasn't it?
Well, it was a novelty act for sure.
They have a TV show.
And they opened for Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani or No Doubt? Does he mean Gwen Stefani or does he mean No Doubt?
Well, I assume he means the solo act.
If it was I don't know if it's a ska band from the 90s. Like I was right. It was No Doubt. They opened for No Doubt. Because that was what Gwen was doing back in the 90s. She was playing with No Doubt. I'll be honest, I think does Sublime count as ska? Because I've listened to that.
I'm not entirely sure.
If they play with a reggae beat, then yes.
Well, that's a lot of Sublime's music.
Yeah, I mean it's all about that rhythm. If you put the emphasis on the 2 and the 4 instead of the 1 and the 3, then you're playing a reggae beat. And I guess that's ska.
Sublime is a ska punk band. Apparently such things exist.
Or was, because Bradley Knowles has been dead since 1994, I think.
Oof.
Hey, you want to know how I get my backgrounds for my drawings?
How?
I take pictures of concrete and stuff. I don't use like Google Images or anything. Like I prefer not to. I prefer to like go out and actually like take pictures myself.
Well, that's
I
cool.
want like the background to have like texture and stuff. And then I just like mess around with it until it looks cool.
Also, I was wrong. Bradley Knoll died in 96.
Press F.
No, but
Press O to oof.
Yeah. So, Demon Eater says, is a good show uses practical effects, interesting guest stars, and surprise cartoons.
Very neat.
Reminds me of those variety shows that Sid and Marty Krofft would put out in the 70s.
You know, I'm surprised you missed this, Dan. Because I would have thought if it was the 90s, you would have known about this.
Yeah, to be fair, by then my mind was on other things. Let me see. Alright. You see, this time the mission went off without a hitch. I don't know how it went south so badly last time.
I don't know. I think it's just Lenore being Lenore.
Yeah, that's why. That's the difference. Lenore isn't on the squad this time. That's it. You nailed it.
Not on the squad.
No, it's Spoot, Maeve, Althea, and Adobe. I just made a serious mistake. I put Maeve right out in the open.
Spook's on it?
Yeah, Spoot's right here.
Oh man, I gotta check this out. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. She seems. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll keep her on the screen until you can see her. Yeah, she's the currently active character.
Yeah, like I noticed, Lenore seems to be like a huge part of this,
Oh,
the
neat.
whole Discord thing, but she doesn't have like her own thing. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, she designed the Mythoverse tree logo. That's why we love her.
And she has a character based off her.
That's true. And she's just a
nice.
really sweet person.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, Lenore. Yeah, I used to back when I was on Twitter. Like, we were in like this little like chat group and this text group. It was pretty cool.
All right, so
cool.
Matt, I don't know if you can see, but I had Althea charge right up into the alien's face, Adobe style, and she's going to fire right into his mouth. All right. Yeah, there
You know, I have to want. Oh God, I'm starting to wonder if we made the meme a real thing.
All right.
Like, all I'm gonna say is, Dan, do not tempt fate by putting Vamp into the squad.
Why not? Why the hell not? All right. You see, I made a serious mistake and put Maeve right out in the open, and the dude missed. And I still pulled it off without a single wound. I don't know what the hell happened last time. God damn it. It was Lenore. It was totally Lenore. She sabotaged us.
Would have had to either been Lenore or a really bad case of RNG.
Yeah, well, Lenore is bad RNG, apparently.
That's just what I'll say. Do not put in Lenore, do not put in Vamp, and especially do not put both of them in, because they will fuck it up.
Alright, I'll try not to.
You know what? Just for shiggles, just put both of them in and see what happens.
I'll add them to I'll add Vamp to the character pool.
Oh God, this is gonna be a disaster.
This is gonna be beautiful.
Well, to be fair, disasters are what you remember. Like, I always remember our worst total party wipeouts in all the MMOs, and I never remember all of our successes. All right.
I shared a thing in the Discord. Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I see it.
Wait, where'd you share it?
The Aquabat Super Show full episode with Matt Chapin.
Oh, God.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's the one.
So speaking of old bands, I don't know why, but I got back into Blink-182 lately, and some of you might have a better memory of this than me. But who remembers George Carlin and the 7 words you cannot say on TV?
Yes.
Of course. Classic
Yeah.
routine.
Everyone knows that one.
You know, dude, I just want to be sure because I know there are people I know who are my age. You know, I'm early 20s, I'm about 23. And I know people who have not heard of it.
Go to any website from ever and it will get referenced at least twice a day.
But no, turns out Blink-182 turned it into a song. It is 45 seconds long. And it's called Family Reunion, and it's wonderful.
Nice. Alright, see if I can squeeze in one more mission.
We got wiped out within like the first 5 minutes on PUBG, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah, well, I was wiped out the minute I stepped outside the first building in our first match. We lasted a little bit longer in the second match, but one guy basically took all 3 of us out.
guys playing?
Right now we're playing XCOM 2. We were having network issues. Brett was unable to stay on the session, so we just said we'll try again next time.
PUBG was just
I didn't know you guys played XCOM.
it was
Holy
not
shit.
stable on my. It was sacrifices that go to the gods of darkness.
I love XCOM. It's one of those games that I would play, like even the original and Terror from the Deep and all that stuff. Terror from the Deep was probably the most nightmarish experience I ever had. It was so difficult. And this one actually gave me flashbacks when I first played it, because I consider myself fairly competent at the recent reboot. But when I jumped into this game and I was getting point blank flank shots missing, and then my guys would be killed because of it, I began to hate the game very much.
Okay, should I just tweet that Vamp and Lenore need to stop hexing everything?
I think Leonore did actually hex my XCOM mission, because she's not on the squad, and it went flawlessly. Everyone survived, everyone got promoted. This is great.
And looks like Demon Eater's messing around in the YouTube chat.
Yes, he is.
Sacrificing goats to the god of darkness.
May these poor fools be cured and their mission fail and all their hairs fall from their head. Do not fight Hex.
I know.
Nice.
You know what? As long as we're throwing hexes out there, why not the classic Scandinavian one? May fleas attack your, pretty much genitals. And there you go.
Hey,
That's
which
just
of you?
fun. Go ahead.
Hey, which of you guys have seen that doodle I did of Monica Rial?
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny, man.
Alright, I'm gonna post it in general, and maybe one of you can pull it up.
Oh, that one? Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's great.
Yeah. I'm gonna pause the mission for a moment so that we can focus on that.
Demeter says, "Do not fight Hex." I will fight Hex.
I was watching the entire
There you go.
session.
This is just wonderful.
That is a masterpiece, my friend.
It is truly a work of beauty on level with the Mona Lisa.
The likeness is uncanny.
And all I did was use the picture as a reference, so it's like a straight reference. Like I'm not making exaggerations or anything.
It's not even a caricature. Yes.
It's just the outline of a person, this sad, frumpy person.
Oh. It's like Grumpy Cat was reincarnated as a human being.
In this case, Grumpy Rod. Ooh, Father Time took a bat to whoever that poor chick is. If only you knew. If only you knew.
I emailed it to... Oh, what?
Nothing, you say your thing, Dylan.
Oh, I actually emailed this to Nick Ricada. I don't think I've heard anything back yet. Probably not, but...
I'm pretty sure he would enjoy it.
To get this on one of his streams, that'd be amazing.
Oh dang, Dylan, you win, man. Cool. How you doing, dude?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing cool. How are you?
Hey, Skater! What's up?
I'm great. You?
I'm doing pretty good over here. Just got a cake from Baba Jean's.
Oh my god, that's great.
Let's get to town there. Let's have ourselves a bonfire.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay, Matt's gonna know what this one is. Gator! Gator! Play the clip, Gator! Matt knows that one.
Are we still streaming right now?
Yes, we are.
We still are.
Okay,
I'm
just making
trying to do one more
Yeah.
mission, and then I'm going to call it for the night.
And I know
Oh,
Deviator
okay.
knows that one.
Oh, Dylan, my dude. Soon enough, I'm gonna be asking for more stuffs.
Nice.
Biggie.
Alright, yeah, I'm working on my script right now. It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good. Is your pitch done?
I'm my pitch. Well, the script or whatever. Yeah, I mean, no, it's not done. I'm adding detail. I'm fleshing everything out.
Okay. I decided to make sure Wicked was okay with what I had idea-wise before I started.
I would I'm taking if we're starting to count, we have Brizza's book, we have Dylan's book, we have Sauron's book, and we have Duskwill's book, so altogether, there's at least 4 new Mythoverse titles coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, my thing has changed considerably
Them
since
is a
last
good
time I was on
sign.
stream.
That is
Because
extremely
last time I
exciting.
was on stream, I was talking about how it was like a shonen kind of thing. But now it turned into like a horror title.
Nice. See, I switched from what I was originally doing to just more shonen.
That's honestly not that uncommon, guys. It's like back when I was in college, I wouldn't take this as a rote, but it'll kind of put things in perspective. I took graphic design originally, and one of the things one of my instructors told me was, never settle with your best idea because your best idea isn't. Never settle with your first idea because your first idea is never your best idea. Now,
Right.
I'm not sure how true that is across the board, but considering I've had story ideas that ended up going changes from what my initial idea was.
Yeah, my initial idea was something like you could compare to like Sekiro or whatever. It was like with a samurai.
Yeah.
And then it went to the Egyptian mythos shonen deal, and then now it's like just like dark horror, which I'm really excited to do. Because I feel like while those other ideas were exciting, it just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like something I could just like continue to do. Yeah.
Well, when you're starting out, man, like the most important thing you can do at this point is find a direction that you feel comfortable sticking with.
Right.
Yeah. An ancient team of knights turned into modern-day American Sentai-influenced fighters. I think that because Neostar said I still haven't decided what to contribute to the Mythoverse. I didn't even know he had an idea.
He's got a lot of them, man.
Yep.
We could draw like the first like 3 characters in a Mythoverse and have them dress as like in the Super Sentai.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Adobe would have to be the Black Ranger.
Maeve would probably she'd probably be the White Ranger.
Yeah, that would make sense. But the White Ranger is typically the 6th Ranger who shows up later, right?
Yeah.
There's always a 6th Ranger.
I miss when the Green Ranger was the cool one.
That was when the show really took off in America. Like, I remember when that happened. It was like, oh my god, the Green Ranger? You mean their enemy is another Power Ranger? He's a teenager and he's got a cool shield on his outfit. It's like, that was pretty neat.
And he has a Dragon Zord.
Yeah, which is like as big as the Megazord is, for crying out loud. All right.
Yeah, Green Ranger was the best.
Yeah, I love the Green Ranger.
It really was.
I was actually very happy that he kept coming back to the show.
During my childhood, why green has come to be my favorite color.
Yeah, let's be honest. Tommy was the best character.
That's why they kept bringing him back.
Yeah, that guy, he cannot get over the fact that he's obsessed with the fact that he played the green and then the white Ranger.
Jason David Frank?
Yeah, Jason David, yeah.
Do you know that? Oh, dude, have you seen all the different martial arts Jason David Frank has black belts in?
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna look.
I think the story goes when he auditioned for the role, and he showed them what he was capable of in terms of martial arts. They basically said, "You just keep kicking like that, and we'll teach you how to act."
Well, to be fair, that's kind of all the actors really needed to do.
It's
Have
true.
you ever seen those videos from Bat in the Sun? Where it's like these live action like fights, and like they're like, and the production value is like really cool. They got Jason David, Frank on there to play the White Ranger.
Oh, actually, here's something interesting, because Jason David Frank originally wanted to be Jason, the original Red Ranger, but he lost it to Austin St. John, and then he auditioned again for Tommy.
Right.
So,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
okay, so here's what he's got. He has an eighth Dan black belt in Shotokan Karate, black belt in Wado Ryu Karate, black belt in Taekwondo, black belt in Judo, purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and an adjunct degree in Muay Thai.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
That last one, he is banned from using that competitively because you can actually kill people with Muay Thai.
It's all about the elbows and knees, yeah.
You can kill people with most of those things.
Usually when they refer to Muay Thai, it's, death boxing, because there literally is no coming back from that.
Yeah, but I know you can kill people. You can kill people with any of these, but only one of them is banned from being from a competitive setting. Like if you fight competitively, you cannot fight with Muay Thai.
Neostar says Dragon Zord was effectively Mecha Godzilla. Ah, it's an interesting point. Never thought of it that way.
Oh, here's something.
I did
Fun
Wado
fact,
a
Jason
little
David-
bit. That was
Fun
really
fact:
fun.
Jason David Frank has a part in opening to the Morning Kumite.
Didn't know that.
Oh, then.
I haven't watched Morning Kumite since it came out. That freaking Tonka was a bitch.
Whoa.
Well, whoa. Or do people here like?
You do know Vamp is on this server, right, Dylan?
Who's Vamp?
No.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna.
Who is Vamp? Really, I'm serious though.
Well, Brett.
She was giving us a lot of support during the Kickstarter. And so yeah.
Oh crap.
It's all good.
Zeno also mentions that Summer Glow
And she
edition.
knows Tonka, or
Yeah, she does.
Pretty well, some may say.
Neostar says Muay Thai fighters are scary as hell. Yes, ever since Sagat, I've hated them.
Yeah.
All right.
Zeno also says Summer Glow audition to be the Pink Ranger one of the later seasons, Dragon Force or Jungle Fever or something.
Jungle Fever.
With a all new funky ranger.
Demon Eater also says, fun fact, Austin St. John went on to be a medevac and search and rescue specialist in the U.S. Armed Forces. Oh, so that's what he's doing now. Good for him.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Things are kind of awkward now.
Who wants to talk about murder?
well, I mean, it's just that literally the only thing I know about Tonka is from that one. I think it was one of Mediker's videos about the supposed fight between him and Andy Worski. That did not paint him in a very good light.
Well, that's what Mediker does, though.
Yeah, and it also ended up coming out that the fight was canceled anyway.
Yeah.
No. Worski actually went to it. Like he
Yeah, but-
actually showed up, which is
Yeah, but I didn't get paid for
which
it.
is more than I could say for Tonka. Like,
He showed up to a
be
fight
fair.
that was canceled.
Yeah, and from what I've seen of Andy, he's like lost his shit recently.
And
references to that. What
well, it's
happened?
not that he didn't almost get himself killed. He almost got people killed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was going on? I think the short version is Tonka failure and another guy were out in Miami streaming, and somewhere down the line they get into an altercation with some gentlemen, and Andy, being the dumbass that he is, keeps trying to escalate it.
Yeah, and this one dude had a gun, like.
And Andy actually was stupid enough to yell, "Do not approach, we will defend ourselves." And the cop, the short version, it ended with the cops showing up and arresting the guy that was with them.
Because he aimed his gun at there were people who weren't armed.
Yeah,
Who would have known that stand your ground does not mean waving a gun around?
Xenolith says, didn't one of the Red Rangers kill his flatmate? Yes, I do remember that story.
Yeah, he did.
There's this misconception, especially amongst states that vote differently than how they vote. Most people vote here. That we just go around waving guns everywhere. People, well, altercations aren't even that common, at least where I am. B, most people are going to try to defuse a situation and not escalate.
Yeah, I think it was the Wild Ranger. Yes. Gokai confirmed it.
It was.
Yep.
Oh my god, that was tragic.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how are you gonna ruin Power Rangers next, Xeno?
As long as none of the RPM Rangers do anything terrible, because I love that season.
I mean, if we're ruining Power
I have to
Rangers, I
ask.
mean, the fact that they exist, I don't know.
Hold on. Should Rita Repulsa show back up in a new one? Because at this point, she's just a meme machine.
You know what? I was excited that Samurai brought back Bulk and Skull in the original theme song.
Yes.
Wasn't it just Bulk though?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was Bulk and a different cousin, yes. But yeah, it was Bulk.
Yeah, the kid of Skull. I'm surprised he actually got someone willing to touch him.
You know what?
He's a late bloomer. And who knows? But yeah, when I saw him...
The later seasons showed they were decent people deep down, even if they weren't necessarily the brightest stars in the sky.
Yeah. I've met the guy who plays Bulk at Youmacon, and incredibly nice guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they were. To be fair, they were
Skulls-
teenagers. Most people are jerks when they're teenagers.
Oh yeah, and what's the
Well,
guy?
it wasn't so much about how they were as people. It was more of how wacky they were.
Yeah, well, they tried to bully the Power Rangers, but they were never quite up to the task.
Well, no, but it's even during their later years, they were just really incredibly wacky people who were weird to most people.
Demeter says Skull couldn't do it because he is professor of drama at DeLoyalia University. I can't pronounce.
I thought he was professor of English literature.
I'm looking it
Or
up.
maybe that's what he got his doctorate in. I know he's a doctor.
He has a PhD.
Yeah.
I type in skull actor and what I get Hugo Weaving.
The Red Skull.
I just found it kind of weird looking back at the Power Rangers Bulk and Skull thing, because like if you look at the episodes, the Power Rangers are very much, the popular kids. At least most of them are. I don't know about the blue one.
Yeah, Billy was a
but they're very
nerd,
much,
quote
in the
unquote.
in crowd, and Bulk and Skull aren't, and it's kind of like a reversal of how you usually see, sort of high school depictions of like who's bullying who.
Yeah. I'm looking it up. Jason Narvey, that's the name of the actor. Certified actor / combatant with the British Academy of Stage and Screen Combat. Member of the Screen Actors Guild and holds a PhD in theater studies from the University of California, Santa Barbara. is currently associate professor in the theater department at Concordia University in Chicago.
Huh.
So yeah, he did really well for himself.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, on that note, it's 11:15 my time, so I think that's a good time to sign off.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yes.
thanks everyone for coming into the chat. Thanks everyone patiently waiting through our network issues with PUBG. We'll try something different next time.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for hanging out with us, and as usual, anything you guys want to say, Brett and Matt, before we sign off?
It was good. I mean, like, even though PUBG sucked on my end, still glad we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we'll try GTA Online next. If you want, we'll do a trial run before we stream it to see how it holds up with all of us.
That'll be a good idea.
But it was fun flying by the seat of the pants. Anyway,
Yep.
once again, thank you all for listening to Radio Mythoverse. Thank you for everyone in the chat. And thank you for everyone who is supporting the Mythoverse. We greatly appreciate it, and we cannot wait to share more progress with you. So I'm going to lead off with the Adobe Kroger theme once again. Good night. See you next week.